It serves as a lifeline for Canadians from coast to coast, but right now the Canadian Blood Services needs saving of its own. The nonprofit organization is seeing the lowest donor base in a decade.
Another 10 minutes in the refreshment area, okay?
Sounds good.
Inside Canadian Blood Services at Yonge and Bloor, donors like Jim are in high demand.
I heard there was a shortage, and so I said, you know what? Come down here. It takes very little time. Done deal.
This jester's found 30 kilometers northeast of Toronto. In Markham, where Andy and Yelly relies on donors.
What does it mean to me? Honestly and truly, it's basically priceless. How do you repay someone for that? For them saving your life?
When he was 19 years old, Andy, who has sickle cell disease, was hospitalized and in a coma for 1 week after a doctor prescribed him an antibiotic he was allergic to.
That's when my whole body basically shut down.
And you needed blood.
Exactly. My parents let me know that I survived because of blood transfusions and everything like that, right? By donors and everything.
8 years later, he continues to rely on blood transfusions.
I honestly need that in order for me to survive.
Canadian Blood Services says it lost 31,000 donors over the pandemic. They need to get 100,000 new ones across Canada this year to meet patient needs.
Less than 2% of the eligible Canadian donor base is actually donating. That's an extremely small amount of people that are keeping Canada's lifeline going, which just isn't sustainable for our Canadian patients.
What's behind the drop in donors?
The pandemic, a lot of people are traveling right now, so they're not really thinking about coming out and donating, and a lot of people have just forgotten about Canadian Blood Services.
B negative and O negative blood types are in high demand. Only 7% of the Canadian population has O negative blood, which is commonly used in trauma and emergency situations. But all of the blood types are needed to bring Canada's supply to an acceptable level.
1 in every 2 Canadians will know somebody or be somebody who needs blood.
Andy is one of those Canadians. For the last 8 years, every 4 to 6 weeks.
They'll start an IV and everything like that so they can start removing my blood. They'll start a phlebotomy. And after that, that's when they will get me a blood transfusion.
The now 27-year-old says donors are the reason he's here today, and he's using his story to help strengthen a lifeline he and many others rely on.
I'm happy to be alive. I woke up today to speak to you, so I'm grateful. Just the awareness alone, right? Should alarm other individuals and try to get them to come and donate.
Currently, the Canadian Blood Services is not taking any walk-ins, but to book your appointments, you can come right here in person or do it online. They say in some cases, same-day appointments are available. In Toronto, I'm Faiza Amin for City News.